So about 7 to 8 days ago, I got a brand new release in, the first release of 2024, first designer release of 2024. There was a few niche that were released, and so I did my first impression on it, and that was Boss the Scent Elixir. And so now that I've worn it probably 8 times, 9 times, I'm coming back letting you guys know if it's worth it, how it performs, how it projects, all of that good stuff, so that I can let you guys know whether it's worth a blind buy, whether it's worth a pickup, a decant, all that. So that's what we're talking about today. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka FragranceDoud. Thank you guys so much for joining me for my first full review of a brand new designer fragrance here in 2024. So this is technically the first designer release of 2024. There is a few niche. There's Initio's Narcotic Delight that was released a few days ago. Before this, I mean. Then there's Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex. I am going to get my nose on decants of both of those soon. And I also have Valentino Green Stravaganza on the way right now, so be tuned in for that review. But with that said, this is the first one that I saw available online of any of those. And so it's from a house that legit has been killing it lately. Over the last year and a half, they came out with Boss Bottled Elixir, which was legit the biggest change in the Boss Bottled line. Not only did they finally improve the performance of a Boss Bottled, because Boss Bottled back in the early 2000s was really good performance, and then over time, it's just all the Boss Bottled were like 4 to 5 hours. While they smell good, they're just 4 to 5 hours. They finally improved that a little bit with the Parfum, and then even more so with the Elixir. And not only that, the quality got better, the style of fragrance got a little bit more unique, and then they came out with Boss's Scent Magnetic. Boss's Scent Magnetic was the best scent in the line outside of Private Accord. It was very simplistic with this black vanilla husk, a little bit of this honey bran absolute. Very simplistic. It was like a vanillic cereal with a maninka underneath. Very nice fragrance. Then they came out with this, the one that we're doing our full review on today. But before I tell you about it, please, if you can, make sure to subscribe if you're not. Let's get it on the road to 10,000 subscribers. I usually don't like to ask for that, but we just hit 7,000 subscribers. We're quickly climbing, and so let's do like a hashtag 10,000 subscribers. Let's get everybody up there so that we can start to grow the channel even more. I'd really appreciate it. Also, hit the like, put me on the algorithm. Comment below, let me know if you're interested in trying this, if you've tried it, what you think about it, and then if you want my videos sooner, hit the notification bell. So again, today we're doing my full review on the brand new release here in 2024. It is Hugo Boss the Scent Elixir. Boss's Scent Elixir. I'm not going to do the presentation here. If you want to see the presentation, go see my first impression. It comes in this kind of like red, maroon, magenta looking box. Actually, the same color as my shirt. Didn't even realize that, but yeah, same color as my shirt. And the bottle is pretty much the same as Invictus Victory Elixir, where it looks like it's blue online, but you have to hold it into the light because it's really dark. This kind of just looks like magnetic. Unless you hold it in the light, then it's red. Then it's the same color as the shirt. But yeah, that's neither here or there. What's this fragrance all about? So it's actually an eau de parfum intense. Elixir is just a made-up word for fragrances. It's an eau de parfum intense. But with that said, what is the fragrance all about? Well, I said in my first impression, I should have brought out magnetic for this, but I said that it reminds me of the scent line mixed together with one of the infrareds. I said pick and choose because the opening of both of them has this red pepper, red fruit, pink pepper mixture. That's what you get in both of these. If any of the ones I'd have to choose, it'd probably be this because it has a little bit more of that. But I said take that sweet and spiciness. Don't think it's exactly like a Spice Bomb infrared. It's just the pieces of that opening, and mix it together with the scent DNA. Specifically, to me, it smells like the scent Magnetic. It has like this vanillic sweetness underneath. That's why I get that. I know I just saw another review that said that this one is It actually kind of shocked me because he did agree with me about the mixture of the scent and infrared mixture. But the thing he didn't agree, he said that the Maninka to him is super prominent in this, and that it was very similar to the original The Scent, and that it pushes out so heavy that it's like super elixir status. Well, I've sent this to 2 other people, and for us 3, we don't get that crazy in-your-face performance. You guys know I don't like the in-your-face performers. While this does push out very nicely, I don't get a super heavy in-your-face Le Male Elixir, Sauvage Elixir style fragrance. This is more like a, just like Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. Kind of in your face, but not too in your face. And then also, I don't like the original The Scent. It is too dry, too dusty of a Maninka and too heavy of Maninka. That's why my favorite 3 in the line before this was, were Private Accord, because it was more dark chocolate than Maninka. Then you had Magnetic, which was more vanilla, and that Brand Absolute than it was Maninka. While the Maninka was still in there, they were dialed down. And then you had Absolute, which kind of was a steady medium, where it was more Maninka than the other 2, which is why it's my 3rd favorite. But with that said, I didn't like Pure Accord. I didn't like the original The Scent because they were too much Maninka. And too much Maninka for me just comes off too dry and dusty, too dark and fruity, and I don't love them. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. This one, to me, is in the line with the other 3, where the Maninka is hidden underneath that, and especially in the opening, that sweet and spicy and fruitiness. So again, I said it was missing a few notes. One of those notes comes across to me like it's going to be pink pepper. There's like a sweet and spicy tone to this. While there is that red pepper in there, it really reminds me of the pink pepper, red pepper mixture you get from that. Mixed together again with this almost red fruitiness that you mix together. I don't know if there is a fruitiness to it outside of the Maninka, or if the Maninka is just coming off a little bit different. But it has this kind of almost red fruitiness mixed together with a sweet and spicy tone, and then that scent DNA is underneath it that you would all know. So this still, does it still smell like a scent flanker? Yep. It still smells like a scent flanker. So if you didn't like any of the other scents, you're not going to like this. But with that said, this is the most mass appealing of all of them. This is the heaviest projecting of all of them. All of the other ones are between moderate and above average. This is between above average and elixir status, at least for the first 2 to 3 hours. Then it starts to calm down just a bit, and then it's more between moderate and above average at that point in time for about 6 more hours. So let's just get the performance out of the way. This fragrance lasts 10 plus hours. It is heavy. It stays on your skin. It is not a super heavy projector, but the sillage on this is about 6 feet. That's the best part of a fragrance, and this one has a beautiful sillage. How do the women fare with this? My wife loved it. 2 people at my work loved it, and my daughter loved it. So it's 4 for 4 with compliments with women. So that's telling you something. Usually the scent line isn't something that women are 100% on board with, but this one, because of this like almost bubblegum fruitiness that it has, well, it's not too bubblegum style. It does have that in there. Mixed together, it becomes a little bit more mass appealing than the other ones in the line, which is why I really love it. It has that lavender mixture all the way through the entire fragrance, providing a slight, it's almost like a sweet lavender, providing almost like a sweet aromatic tone throughout the entire fragrance, but that is more of an undertone. While over the whole fragrance, as you work your way into the dry down, it feels like you get this nice, beautiful vanillic mixture with sandalwood. The sandalwood comes across a little bit creamy. It loses some of its powdery tones that you get from the other ones and that dustiness. So the dustiness from the Maninka usually comes across, and when blended with any kind of dark chocolate or vanilla, it usually makes the fragrance powdery. This one, there is a slight bit of powder, but then there's this creamy sandalwood mixed together with this vanilla that it's like, it smells like the black vanilla husk. That's why I get that Maninka, or not the Maninka, the Magnetic comparison, because the Maninka and the black vanilla husk from that smells like it's in here just mixed together underneath this nice creamy and warm sandalwood. So that's pretty much what the dry down is. It opens up with this sweet, spicy, fruity tone with the Maninka underneath it and that scent DNA underneath that. As you work your way into the dry down, as that kind of red pepper, pink pepper mixture starts to fade, it just becomes an underlying spicy tone that Maninka starts to go and just blend together with the rest of that scent DNA, which is Maninka, just that dusty powderiness with a little bit of sweetness. Put that underneath of just a sandalwood vanilla mixture in a touch of lavender, and that is what you're looking at the rest of the fragrance. It is smooth, creamy, it is very nice. It has a small fruity spicy undertone, but it's mostly sandalwood as you get to the dry down, a little bit warm, a little bit fruity. That's why the fragrance comes off a little bit more mass appealing, because that fruity tone mixed together with the sandalwood is a more mass appealing kind of almost bubblegum style version of the line. But I really like it. I give this fragrance a 9 out of 10. I'm not even kidding. As far as mass appeal, is this doing anything different than what you've smelled before from the line? Yes, but is it still going to be something that smells like the rest of the ones in the line? Yes. So really, to summarize it, what this is if you ask Victor and Rolf to take the scent DNA and they bought them out and decided to make a spice bomb flanker with the DNA, it's kind of a mashup between infrared and the scent DNA. That's what you get with this, just with the dry down being more of this kind of amber backtone, sandalwood, vanillic mixture with a touch of lavender and spice. It's still a bit fruity throughout the entire fragrance, more so in the opening than the dry down, but very mass appealing, very good. Again, I give it like a 9 out of 10, at least as of right now. The opening is probably like a 9.2, as the dry down is more like a 8.5, so I'm taking it right in the middle, like an 8.9, 9.0. I think this is my favorite right now in the line. I think it does go a little bit above Private Accord, but that's just because I really like infrared, and this just has a little bit of that DNA. Again, don't get it twisted. It is not exactly like infrared by any means. It just has little pieces of it that I really enjoy, and I loved the scent flanker from last year, Magnetic, and it kind of just seems like this one is a little bit more of a fruity version of that with those infrared spices on top, and a nice creamy sandalwood in the dry down, which I've always loved sandalwood. So would I say this is an easy blind buy? It's $83 on makeupstore.com, so yeah, I think that it is an easy blind buy. But if you're iffy on the scent DNA, then maybe not. But yeah, great start to 2024. I really enjoy it. If you have any more questions about the fragrance, please let me know. Again, 10 plus hours. It lasted a day or so on my clothes, so you're going to get what you need out of it. So that is Boss the Scent Elixir. I'm wanting to say Magnetic, but Boss the Scent Elixir. Fantastic fragrance. Yep. So I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. I have another video coming out this week where I'm going to be reviewing. I'm actually doing it right after this, but I'll be releasing it later, obviously. It is for the two Toomey fragrances, 19 Degree and Awakened Distilled, brand new releases as of last year. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.